Hello crafty friends, today is part of PaperMona's challenge, the letter M for the month of May. We've decided that we're going to use some metal tape, so let's get started and we'll have a explore and see what fun we can have with this.
You can get this metal tape from any local DIY or hardware store. I think it's used for taping up ducting. It's metal based, aluminium, thin, comes in a thick roll, and it is self-adhesive. I'll just peel a bit back here so you can see. It's double-sided and it's peel and stick.
Wow.
It's very malleable and can be cut.
Fantastic.
So let's say five things you can do with metal tape.
Let's go.
You can emboss it using an embossing folder.
It's a good use for your slimline embossing folders as well. Sometimes it's tricky to use them. It's ideal for them as well.
So just your normal embossing folders, and you can emboss and de-emboss. Don't need to spray it with anything.
Emboss. And you would just peel this off, and for your craft project, you're set to go. Yeah, lovely.
And if you had a page that was wider than the strip, you can simply
just peel and stick and cover your card, which is good for card that maybe you don't like the shade, or if you've had an accident, spilled ink on it or whatever, or fingerprinted ink, or just a good cardstock sometimes that you not keen in the pattern on it or whatever. It's great.
upcycle your old cardstock. So just
cereal boxes, etc.
Cover it, and then you can put it in a larger embossing folder.
Ideal.
And just run that through your machine, and you'll get a larger section.
And because the seams lie flat, it's not really noticeable if you're embossing it.
So to emboss, I'm just putting the metal tape into the embossing folder, base plate and my top plate. Just run that through your Gemini or any other die cut machine, your Big Shot, just as you would normally. And as you see, you get a beautiful embossed design that you can use on a card or any other crafting project. Next up, we are going to try and stamp onto the metal tape. We are going to try using the VersaFine Clear, the Ranger Archival ink and the Archival pigment ink pads.
I'm just going to use a simple leaf. No leaves, it's 3 leaves. And I'll try the VersaFine Clear first. And then like that, and I'll use the archival ink. Now
it does slide slightly on the metal tape, so just be careful when you're pressing it down to try and just
don't squash it or add too much pressure, just let it sit on the surface for a little bit. This is an intricate stamp, and then the last one is a colour archival. It's paralysed as well. Just move the stamp block along and make sure it touches the surface. Quickly up.
What we'll do is we'll let this dry and come back to it to see if it stays on the tape. Okay, so now to test, although these inks in theory should last on the metal tape, we're going to put them through their test.
Best tool ever. Oh. Going.
So the VersaClear does not work.
Doesn't stay on. Motion dry my finger again. And this is the Ranger Archival ink. Perfect.
This one stayed.
All the oil's off my hand again. And this one, the lilac one, oh, this is hardly, it's gone, completely gone.
So you can stamp on the metal tape, but you will have to use a Ranger Archival ink. Let's see if we can heat emboss it, and maybe that would keep your ink in place.
So I'm going to try embossing onto the metal tape. Make sure there's no grease. Here goes. And again, no real pressure, just set it on and let it sit for a bit. And then we're just going to use some embossing powder. Another good tip, some wooden tweezers, save your fingers. Wow, it heats very quickly, obviously the metals are conductive to the heat. Fantastic. Oh. Lovely, no warping or anything, the tape just stayed the same.
So that's a yes for heat embossing onto it.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful. Yep. Fantastic.
And you could fussy cut round that and just stick it straight onto a project.
Yeah, or a belly band across. So that means you could put a sentiment or whatever as well. Fantastic. Great.
So let's try die cutting the metal tape. We're going to just use our Gemini, and the plate combination will be base plate, plastic shim, metal shim, a piece of scrap paper just to protect the metal, because it's like mirror card, it is very delicate. We don't want any of the marks from our magnetic shim being impressed into it. Then we will select a die.
Nice leaf dies.
Lovely Autumn Blessings leaf dies from Crafter's Companion. We will attach that to our tape. And here we go.
Cute.
Just have to be careful when taking the dies out. Might need to use a pokey tool.
Should be ready to go. Maybe that. Yeah, that's a leaf. One shiny leaf. It's malleable, as you can see, and the beauty of it is that if you peel it now, it could be stuck to any surface, including a curved surface. Fantastic.
And because they are
Intricate, these ones are very intricate.
Adhesive, the tape has self-adhesive. The beauty of this is once you've cut your die cut out, if you carefully remove the backing, it is ready to go. It's very delicate, so just be careful to stick to any project.
There we go, and that's the other ones.
You don't have to remove the backing, you could just simply add some glue and stick that down if it's a very delicate die. So the metal tape, that is a success for die cutting. We used a very intricate die here, as you can see, and it cut beautifully. That was just on its own, the tape. If you had a larger die and wanted to try and cut that out, again, stick it to a piece of card and put your die on and run it through that way. So I'll try it with a larger die. So here I'm trying a large, intricate die with the metal tape attached to a piece of scrap card, and again we'll just run it through the die cutting machine and we'll see how the metal tape copes with that.
Well, as you see, this is the larger die that we put through, and again a very intricate die, and fantastic. I'm delighted with the results of that. That's your card topper right there and there. Fantastic.
So it definitely was successful at cutting. As you can see, we have a large die cut, which we were able to achieve by sticking the tape to a piece of scrap card, and we have the sticky smaller ones that are ready, self-adhesive, to attach to any project.
Definitely have a go. It's a fantastic medium so far to work with.
Next, we're going to try and add colour to the metal tape using some alcohol inks.
And this is the result from using the alcohol inks on the tape. And it dried very quickly and it was super. I'm sure when we emboss these we'll get a lovely result. This one I used my finger just to tap it on just to see if it would stay, and as I say, it dried fantastically well. I'm sure if you play about with your own inks you'll have a fantastic result as well, and good luck with that. Maybe if you could send us a pic, that would be lovely. Thanks for that.
So successfully you can add colour and use alcohol ink on the metal tape. We also tried to add a little bit of colour just using
our tri-blends, wasn't it?
Our tri-blend markers by Spectrum Noir. These are alcohol pens. Any alcohol markers at all would work, and as you can see you get good coverage, good colour, and it doesn't come off.
Great.
So great for, you can write on it, you could write a message, you could
personalise it, as you say.
We just done a quick doodle here just to test the pens, but the sky's your limit. You could stamp and then colour in your stamps using these. So very versatile and fantastic. You can actually add colour and that extra bit of dimension to your metal tape. We also spray painted the metal tape just to see if it would take additional colour, and here we used some gold spray paint, and as you can see it did take to the tape and it has stayed. And again, this you could do any of the techniques that we've done before on, alcohol ink, emboss, de-emboss ink, heat emboss,
It creates the gold
die
colour
cut,
as well.
and it gives you the gold colour. It would have been a full effect of the gold, however I sprayed it outside and the wind caught it and it landed upside down in the grass, so this is a lovely imprint of the dew on the grass.
Super.
We've made a card in the past using the metal tape and this slimline die. This slimline die is the perfect size for the tape, and if you have any slimline dies in your collection, I'd recommend that you use them with this metal tape. So as you can see, it's a perfect fit.
Snug as a bug.
And we've actually used this die and metal tape to make a card in the past for the F for Feathers challenge. So we'll leave a link in the description box below, so please go and check that out if you'd like to see a card, a finished card made using the metallic tape. And stay tuned for future videos, because I'm sure we will be using this newfound tape in future craft projects. Just as a recap of what you can do with your metal tape, you can add colour using alcohol inks or alcohol markers. You can emboss it,
Deboss.
and deboss it. You can die cut it. You can also make stickers with your die cut because it has that self-adhesive property. You can heat emboss. You can stamp as long as you use the Ranger archival ink. And also it'd be great added to mixed media projects, over the top of things. You can crinkle it up and add,
I'm sure all the wonderful
add
crafters
texture.
out there will have fun experimenting on their own once they get it.
We had fun exploring M for May, and we interpreted it using this metal tape that we had in our stash. And we found the metal tape very versatile and great fun to use, and we had a great day exploring with it. And we'd love to hear from you in the comments below if you have any of this metal tape. Have you used it in the past? What would you do with it? What projects would you add it to? And as a thank you for watching today, we have an unused one of these metal tapes, and if you would like to win one, so drop us a comment below, let us know what you would make with the metal tape, and please like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned to see if you're the lucky winner of the metal tape.
Happy crafting, have a go.
Happy crafting until next time.
Bye.
Bye from the Crafty Seas.